Hey everyone, Human Shield 1991 back again with another edition of PokeThoughts. Now this time around we're going to have a PokeThoughts dedicated to the newest Pokemon Presents, which unveiled Pokemon Unite. Now obviously I had some thoughts going into what this would be, I had some predictions. I believe I mentioned it in my last PokeThoughts video, I know I definitely mentioned it in comments and on Twitter, and we'll see what those thoughts ended up being. I'll discuss that later on in the video. But if you are new to the channel, be sure to thumbs up. Be sure to leave some comments. Let me know what you think of what I say, what I discuss, what you think of this Pokemon Presents, what you think of Pokemon Unite. Let me know all that in the comment section down below. Beyond that, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We're at about 77 subscribers, I believe. It's fluctuated a little bit, but it keeps on going up, and I definitely appreciate that. So thank you for the continued support. But yeah, I don't even want to say I want to try to hit 80 by the end of the month, but we'll see. My goal was 65 by the end of the month, and we surpassed that. So whatever we get now, just thank you very much. Other than that, follow me on Twitter at HumanShield1991. It's a good way to stay up to date on everything going on the channel, and I give my thoughts there often. I do Pokemon this or that images and shares that almost every day, and yeah, it's pretty fun. But mostly, it's a good way to stay up to date on the channel because YouTube isn't always great at recommending videos or necessarily alerting people of videos, and I always post my new videos on my Twitter. Additionally, I do Pokemon Nuzlocke, I do Pokemon this or that videos, I do Pokemon Showdown videos, and I have a playlist for every single series, for every single video I've ever done on the channel thus far in the description. So go ahead down there and check it out. But other than that, let's not delay this anymore, and let's get going to the video. Alright guys, two things right off the bat I want to get addressed before we get too far. First and foremost, this is actually my second time recording the audio. The first time didn't go well. The last time I had a ton of audio issues was with the previous PokeThoughts. I think it might have something to do with the way I have the video playing picture-in-picture, so to speak. And I'm going to try to set that up after and see if that helps, because I'm not having a lot of audio issues in my normal videos beyond that. So we'll see. Now the other thing I want to point out is I have seen this video, and this isn't a live reaction or a new reaction, so to speak. It's just my thoughts, and I guess it is a reaction, but it's not a first time viewing reaction. Hopefully that clears that up, just so there's no confusion in that regard. I haven't sat down and given a ton of thought about this new game yet, so my reactions are still going to be kind of raw for it, beyond me just having to previously record it 20 minutes ago, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, as you can see, the trailer's been going, and Shofu pointed out something I thought was very interesting, and that's that Pokemon always do trailers now. You know, they flex all their past stuff, and you know, he said that kind of with a negative sign, I felt like. I wasn't sure. At least that's how I read it. I personally really did. Now, I know there's Gen 1 bias and that kind of stuff. I'm putting that to the side. I'm not talking about that, specifically. But, you know, they've been around for almost 25 years now. They have a lot of history throughout most of our childhoods and future childhoods still. So, I think it's pretty neat that they, you know, reference that. You know, they're not just forging a future, but they have a whole past that they can rely on, and I think that's pretty neat.
Alright guys, my audio sounds different. It's because the recording was still being a complete disaster, so I had to switch what I was using. So hopefully this comes out better. Anyway, as I was saying, yes, I understand that they rely on nostalgia a lot for these trailers, but I think they did it in a good way. But what did they do? They announced Pokemon Unite. Now, going into this, I had three predictions. One of three things I thought was going to happen. Number one, more DLC. An announcement that would reference more DLC, possibly an evolution finally, because I'm disappointed we didn't get one, and that it would bring all Pokemon from the past into the game. So the 200 Pokemon or so that'll be missing once the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra are done, they would be reintroduced. Needless to say, that wasn't it. Then, my other prediction was, Let's Go Johto, or Let's Go Meryl and Togepi, whatever you want to call it. I thought, hey, maybe that could come. Not that it'd necessarily be some, you know, huge thing, but it definitely had an audience, and it was good graphics, and it was kind of neat. So I thought maybe it could be that. And then the big one I was expecting, and honestly, this is genuinely the one I thought it would be, and I know so many people hoped it would be the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes. And I know people really wanted this, and I was honestly expecting, because it's been a while since we had the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I'm not sure when those came out, but I feel like they were around when Sun and Moon came out, so it's been quite a few years now. But needless to say, it wasn't that. Instead, we got Pokemon Unite. And this is... it leaves me conflicted. And I'll explain why it leaves me conflicted in a second, but I want to say, first of all, the game looks like it's pretty fun. I want to establish that right off the bat. I am not... a lot of people have been very upset about this. Some have been very disappointed. Some have been downright angry. There's definitely a good bunch of people who are excited too. It's a mixed bag. But I'm not angry about this. I'm not upset about it. I am disappointed, but that's due to my own expectations, which might be my own fault. But what it is, you know, you can see from the video, and if you haven't watched the original video, go find it. The Pokemon Presents Pokemon Unite. It's going to be a game for Switch and for mobile devices, and it's cool that they have cross-platform play. That's a plus. And it's similar to... I don't know how to describe it. I mean, anyone who watches it knows what it is. You can tell from the video or from the announcement video where they go into more detail. But I played games like this before. When I was younger, I played Warcraft 3. I almost said World War 3 for the second time. I did it in the previous recording too. But yeah, I played Warcraft 3, and you know, you have the Dota and stuff like that options, and I definitely see similarities between this and that. And it's pretty cool. It's a neat little game. It's a fun little side game. But it's not what I was expecting, and it's not what I was hoping for. I think most people were hoping for a big-time Switch game, and maybe we were getting our hopes up too much. You know, there's 2 DLCs dropping this year. Maybe it didn't make sense that they would be doing a new game while DLC's dropping in the fall. You know what I mean? Maybe it wouldn't make sense to announce Diamond and Pearl remakes for November if in October you're dropping the DLC. I get that. And that actually raises a lot of questions as well, because Pokemon almost always puts out a new console game, and technically this is a console game, but I'm talking about like a main series, or you know, a remake, or a Let's Go. You know, they've been, or a second version, stuff like that. They've been doing that almost every year. So I guess DLC is taking that spot this year. And if that is the case, I wonder if that means, you know, they'll have more time to focus on the new game, whatever that may be, coming next fall, next winter. And if that is the case, maybe they'll be more polished and less people will have stuff to complain about. So, you know, that's a thought. But regardless, what we did get is Pokemon Unite. And you can see in the video, teams of 5, strive to survive. And it does look fun, right? If you're into this kind of game, I'm sure you're excited for it. If you're not into this kind of game, I can see why you'd definitely be disappointed. I'm disappointed, but it was because of my expectations. I'm not disappointed at the concept of the game. I think it can be fun. I do have an issue, though, where they said it was free to play at first. Free to start. And that does make me worry about microtransactions and how heavy-handed that could be. Because that is the way people make bank these days. That is how people make their fortune. So, we'll see how that ends up turning out. But that's definitely a thought in my head and a concern. But for what we have, what we know, you know, there's a small selection of Pokemon you can choose to go in. They can battle wild Pokemon. They can evolve, and ultimately you're fighting your opponent. And you're trying to get points. And you're going to the goals and all that fun stuff. And it does look neat. It definitely looks fun. One thing of note that I thought was interesting, they took out typings for this. Now, this isn't the first side game where they took out typings, I don't think. I believe Pokken doesn't have typings as well. That's the fighting game, right? I believe type advantages don't come into play there. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't really played that. I played it very little, and I didn't own it. So, if I'm incorrect about that, definitely let me know. But, you know, that's an interesting little tidbit that could make the game a little different. And it looks pretty cool. I mean, the graphics are good for what they are. Obviously, the type of game it is, you're not going to have excellent graphics, but they're fine. They're sufficient, I guess. And the gameplay looks okay. It definitely looks like a pick up and play game to an extent. It doesn't look like something I'd necessarily want to invest hours and hours and hours into. I'm sure some people will, especially if you have alliances or clans and you want to be the best, so you're constantly growing and working and practicing. So there's an aspect to it. Oh, speaking of, let me know in the comment section down below if you want to play this game and if you want to see me play this game when it comes out. And for that matter, they did mention Pokemon Cafe Mix in the beginning. Let me know if you've played that game, and let me know if you'd like me to play that game on this channel, and just let me know how it is. It definitely looks fun for what it is, but I haven't gotten into it or started it at all yet. I haven't even downloaded it, so let me know that. So overall impressions on Pokemon Unite, mixed. I'm not as down on it as a lot of people are. I definitely see the money grab argument and stuff like that, but if people enjoy this kind of game, and if there's money to be made from it, I can't necessarily fault them for doing it, right? If something's a money grab but people love it, then hey, I guess in a way that benefits both parties. Still, I really would have loved to see a console game. Hopefully, we're getting something in the future in that regard. I know some people were hoping for remakes like Gale of Darkness 2, or remakes for Gale of Darkness, or Pokemon Coliseum remakes, and I definitely thought any of those would be cool, but no such luck there either. Pokemon side games to me are real hit or miss. Some look interesting, some are fun, some are just completely skippable, and I guess this is somewhere in the middle for me. I think I'll play it, whether on the channel or not. I think I'll give it a shot, but I don't see myself being super invested by it. Also, can we just say that the actors in the video really came off as play actors? Like, it was ridiculous. I know some weren't actors, some were, like one was a champion at one of the games and stuff like that, and obviously you have him right now in it, but God, it was very over the top and kind of cringy, but that's okay. I understand you have to sell it. So yeah, overall thoughts, that's my overall thought. It looks cool, it's fun. I'm disappointed it's not more. I'm not angry about it, but I'm not over the moon about it either, and I guess I'll give it a shot, maybe. But I would have hoped they would have done a little better. Yeah, I definitely would have hoped for a little something more.
So there you go. Those are my thoughts on Pokemon Unite. What you think? Let me know your thoughts on the Pokemon Presents and everything that went down in the comments section down below. Were you expecting something different? Did you watch the Pokemon Presents? Did you stay up or get up early to watch the Pokemon Presents? And what were your impressions then? And now that more time has passed, what do you think overall? I'd love to hear your thoughts on Pokemon Unite in the comment section below. And what do you make of my take? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think it's terrible? Do you think it's awesome? Do you fall in the middle like I do? Let me know. And let me know again if you've played Pokemon Cafe Mix and if you think I should play it. Other than that, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe. I apologize again for any audio issues. Something about the way these PokeThought videos are set up, it does not work with my computer. I'm going to have to change up what I do. I'm not sure how, but I'll have to figure something out. If not, then we'll see what happens. I am a little worried about what it means for when I have a overlay for my future videos and a layout, but we'll see. So yeah, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subbed. Be sure to hit a like, leave the comments down below, and follow me on Twitter at HumanShield1991. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on everything on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for giving me your time. And until next time, later.